Alright guys, Darren from Honest Money and welcome back to another video. Well, today's video is going to be a little bit different to what I would usually do. We've got no PowerPoint. I'm not going to try and teach you guys anything. All I want to do is share with you some real world life experiences that hopefully some of you younger watchers can use to make decisions and also be aware of things that could have impact on your life as you progress through your careers. Now, I wasn't actually planning on making this video this morning, but something happened this morning which has kind of inspired me to make this video. So if you guys do find this type of video useful, let me know in the comments below, as I have no idea whether this video is going to be any good and whether you guys are going to find any value in it whatsoever. So I found out this morning that someone I know very, very well had been asked to cancel their holiday, to cut their holiday short. They'd been on holiday for a couple of days. Their boss contacted them and asked them to return to work. Now, my first thought was, one, I'm glad they're not my employer, as I see there's very little chance that I would ever cut a holiday short for an employer. But secondly, there are lots of people in the same situations. There are many, many people that work for large corporations and employers who do not care about their employees. So what I want to do in this video is give you some advice, some things to be aware of that hopefully will help you avoid falling into similar traps, because many people that are in that situation aren't in that situation out of choice. They didn't dream about having these careers or dream about having these jobs. What's just happened is that life has happened, and they've kind of stumbled into these positions, and now they're pretty much trapped in those positions with financial commitments and stuff like that. So they're trapped in jobs that they don't really want to be in. So hopefully some of the advice I'll give you in this video will help you make decisions now that will benefit you in the long term. So to kick things off, I just want to look at the fact that young people, and even, well, pretty much all people, all employees in this country are under a lot of pressure, but young people especially, there is so much pressure on them at a young age to make decisions that can impact the rest of their lives. You know, if I think back to when I was at school, which isn't all that long ago, but I had options even in year 9 where I had to pick GCSEs that I wanted to take optionally in addition to the compulsory GCSE. So there's lots of pressure there about what sort of person, what sort of job do you want to have when you grow up, and you had to make decisions based off the back of that. Then once you got your GCSEs, you had to decide what sort of A-levels you wanted to do, and then after A-levels it was deciding what sort of university course you wanted to do. And at all the times there was lots of pressure about deciding what sort of career you wanted to have, what sort of job you wanted to have as well. And being completely honest, I kind of just stumbled through all three of those, not really having an exact idea of what I wanted to do. Thankfully things have kind of worked out okay for me, but I've seen lots of people who went through that same process kind of just stumble through. They leave university or leave college or leave school whenever they decide to leave education, and they kind of fall into the first job that is available, and it might not necessarily be the job they actually want. And then once they're in that trap, it is very, very difficult to escape, because once you start earning money, you then start having financial commitments, and once you have enough financial commitments, it's very difficult to then change career path completely, as usually that will involve a salary cut. So that is the first piece of advice I would give to a young person, or I'd give to a young me, or I'd give to my son at the moment, and that is that you should experiment with your career. You should experiment with starting different businesses and different creative ideas when you can afford to do it, before those financial commitments are involved. So potentially when you're living at home, maybe even when you're still in education, when you're in college and when you're in university, start experimenting with business ideas. At those times when financial commitments are a lot less than they're probably going to be later on in life, you have a lot more freedom to try lots of different business models and maybe find a career you actually want to pursue, rather than one that just pays the bills and maybe one that you feel like you have to do due to social and external pressures. The next thing that I want to take a look at, and that is the definition of success. Now, when I was growing up, it seemed to be that the overall consensus that for you to be successful is you had to make a lot of money. You know, people would gauge your success by how much money you made. Now, for me, that yardstick has moved. My definition of success is not how much money you make. And I think as a society, that needs to change. We need to stop putting pressure on people, especially young people, saying to them, look, it's all about how much money you make, because to me, that is not success. Now, success will vary individually. Some people, it will be all about money, and that is what drives them, and that's what they want. Other people, it might be that they want time freedom, so they want to make enough money to have time freedom. But success is a variable, and success will vary for each person and each person's individual attributes. So think about the type of person you are. What drives you? What is success for you? And try to make sure you encompass that in the career path you choose. So I know there are probably some of you guys sitting there thinking, do you know what, Darren, I have no idea what career choices I want to make. Can you give me any advice? I think the best advice I can give you is know what you do not want to do. So do not fall into the trap where you end up in a job like the person I spoke about earlier in this video, where you're in a position you really don't want to be in. So don't, for example, leave education, find the first job that comes about, jump into that, rack up huge financial commitments with an expensive car, an expensive house and stuff like that, and end up in a job that you do not want to be in for the next 40 years. You know, you want to give yourself that flexibility. So you don't necessarily need to know what you need to do at all times, because many of us never actually figure that out. You know, some people will figure it out after 10 years, some people will figure it out after 20 years. You know, it's taken me the best part of 15 to 20 years to get myself in a position where I'm happy with my lifestyle balance. Other people may not ever figure it out, but you don't have to always figure it out. Just make sure you're aware of where you do not want to be, and keep that in mind at all times when you're making a decision. Is, can I end up in a trap here where I'll get stuck? If that's the case, maybe you want to reconsider that decision. To coin a phrase from Gary Vee, who's a motivational speaker who I'm sure many of you are subscribed to, is how you make your money is so much more important than the amount of money you make. Now, that only applies from a certain level of money, because at a certain level, it's all about making the money because you can't actually afford to live. But once you get past that threshold, how you make your money is so much more important. You know, think about the sort of lifestyle you want to live and how you can make work fit within your lifestyle rather than the other way around. You don't need working hugely long hours unless that's what you actually enjoy and want to do that. But if you do want to work shorter hours to free up more time, think about what career choices you can make now to help you on that journey. So hopefully you guys have found this video useful. If you did, let me know in the comments below. Like I say, I don't know if this type of content is of any value to you guys. So if it is, let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.